Hey guys, it's Shawna. I was taking a little me time outside, laying out, just relaxing. And I was thinking about something, I don't really talk too much about, or I haven't talked too much about the twin flame journey because I've stopped giving it a label. And the whole divine masculine, feminine thing really irritates me now because I am neither divine masculine or divine feminine. I am androgynous in the energies because I am unified consciousness. So both of my feminine and my masculine are balanced. And people think that those are physical aspects of us or a physical presentation of us. And those are energetic aspects. We use both consciously at the same time, or we use whichever one we need, and both need to be healed and balanced to create a whole, healthy being, right? That doesn't mean we're a whole, it doesn't mean once we're healed completely, we'll always have something to work on. And I want to give you 3 different scenarios because, I used to be a very black and white person, but there's a lot of gray areas in this journey because our journeys are our own. And you have to remember that. When you give advice, give it with I'm going to recommend to give advice in a very open-ended, or not give advice. How about just give tools so they can use it or not? Because we're on a journey that we created before we came here. Our higher selves are guiding us every step of the way. And we get too caught up in the pain body of it. We get caught up in the emotions of it. We get caught up in, somebody's talking to their counterpart before they're, and I'll give you 3 scenarios. I know a couple that are in union. They didn't really go through a separation, to my knowledge. They're working through it together, which is very, very difficult. And I give them I'm amazed by it because I think it would be very hard to heal when somebody's on top of you, So kudos to them. I have another friend who hasn't heard from her counterpart in over a year. And then I will give you my own scenario where I just heard from mine not too long ago. The longest time that we have not heard from each other is 3.5 months. And that was really my own ego getting in the way, And now I'm in surrender. But the point of it is that all 3 of us are energetically at the same place. But we have written our journeys differently. And it's for whatever lessons we needed to learn. Well, the first couple, they decided to have their lessons together to help each other out. And knowing their story, I see why. Because, one really needed to be pulled away from a toxic environment, right? So they agreed before they even were incarnated to Earth to walk this journey together. Now, in my situation, I can see where, the push-pull, I can see all my lessons playing out. I can see why I wrote it the way I did. And I'm glad I wrote it the way I did. Because I wouldn't heal if I was with my counterpart. I wouldn't. I would still be stuck in pain and trauma. Now, as far as my other person that I know, they wrote their story for whatever reason they wrote it, and only they know, why they decided to spend a large time apart. It doesn't mean they're not going to be together. It just means that that's what they chose. For whatever reason, that's how they chose to heal. I think that's really strong. Both scenarios are very strong, but it's funny how they look at, she looks at me as it's, strong, like I would be like, I don't know how you go without hearing from them for a whole year. And then she looks at me like, oh, I don't know how you would do it, being, hearing and then stop hearing and then hearing and, and then I look at the other couple like, holy shit, how are you doing that? So we all look at things different. We can't judge the way somebody's walking their journey. Only thing that we can do is give them the tools for healing and empowerment. It's not our place to judge how they're walking it. But if we have tools to help them heal what's within, that's all we're needed to do. That's all we're in their lives. That's all why we have signed contracts to run into each other, meet each other, and to follow each other, and to help each other through the journey, to heal, for those tools, to exchange knowledge, not to judge, not to condemn. And I was guilty of this in the beginning. I was headstrong on how certain things had to be. I don't know where I got that information from, but that was the information that was coming out. And now I don't follow any outside information. I follow my own inner compass, and it's working out just fine for me. And apparently, other people as well. So you walk your journey the way that you need to walk it. Listen to your own inner compass and not everybody else's noise. They're projecting wounds. Don't get caught up in this scenario or like, oh my God, you heard from somebody. I didn't hear from somebody. Oh, it's not. Stand in your own knowing. You don't need validation from anyone or anything. You need your own self-validation and your own knowing. And that comes from within. I hope this made sense to you. Sending love, light, and healing, Shawna.